clear, even before KK, before the I do's, before everything, how I felt.
So I felt like when I did that, it had to be right on what I felt was right.
I hated her.
I hated him.
I'm not a violent person, but when you cross the line, then it's like a whole different vibe for me. So it would be like bad.
Let's be clear. I was hurt. I think this narrative of that Nelly just broke Ashanti's heart. Ashanti broke Nelly's heart.
My mouth is like a pirate, like sour. Like it's disgusting.
I'm a Scorpio too. So, you know, holding grudges is
That's your thing?
That's our magic trick.
But it was one thing for you to tolerate this emotionally unavailable man-child when it was just you and him. But now you got a child.
I'm trying to understand, how is it that you just sleep through when he starts crying?
Do y'all really be up at night? I heard about it.
You know what? It's absolutely ridiculous that you'll still be dead asleep and he'll be mad loud.
But I don't even hear y'all, man.
That's ridiculous.
You know, it's a gift, I guess.
Why is that a gift?
I'm blessed with that tune out.
No, that means get up. It's your turn to change him.
I'm gonna take you back to this conversation we had. Before you kicked me under the table, I said, baby, I give you the world. I just ain't changing no diaper.
Oh my God.
Still being on the road, we both agreed that being up here probably would be the best thing. Very clear, even before KK, before the I do's, before everything, how I felt.
She says she wants another baby. We admit it, she won't. Long as we, as many nannies as we need. Can't chase toddlers at 50, man. That's rough. Joe, that's a workout, Joe. A toddler? You work out every day, though.
Thank you.
I knew I wasn't wrong for saying that Ashanti should not have gotten back with Nelly because, look, that man is embarrassing her already. Not only do he leave for months on end, okay, and leave her to take care of a newborn by herself, but he also said that it's a blessing that he's able to sleep through his son crying in the middle of the night. He said that he told her before she decided to kick him under the table that he will not be helping with the diaper changes. He's basically sticking to the traditional marriage and just providing. But he said that as soon as the baby starts walking and talking and communicating what he needs and what he wants, that's when he's going to step in. That lady is a married single mother, and I don't like that for her, but girl, he showed you who he was. Why would you want to still be with him? Could never, ever, ever be me, because if I was abortionable weeks pregnant, I would have left that man and I would have sent that baby. This man is a walking red flag, and I hate that she gave him a child. Mind you, this is her first child. So not only is he a neglectful dad, he's also a Trump supporter, okay? And he's also allegedly a cheater. I would have left that man so fast his head would have spin.
So thanks to you guys, I have seen clips of Nelly and Ashanti's show because I'm not watching it. I don't support anybody that does anything for Donald Trump. Now, y'all know, if you follow me, that I have always been anti-block spinning. If a relationship did not work out with a man before, then I don't think it's going to, in 9 times out of 10 cases, work out in the future because they have the least incentive to change of anybody. So if they change, something else happened to them. Not the relationship. Something else started impacting them deeply. Maybe other men started telling them they need to change, but they do not change for the most part. So seeing what I'm seeing, I thought it was foolish of Ashanti to do that, but that just shows how far we are as a gender when it comes to prioritizing marriage over our well-being and what's best for us. I mean, Ashanti was literally on vacations and having the best body ever and seemed to be having the best time of her life. But she felt like she hadn't accomplished something because she wasn't married and had children. So she spun the block with the relationship, I guess, that was closest to marriage. He's older now, probably has less options. A lot of times you'll find men are willing to settle down after they've, burnt out their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s, being whorish and making bad decisions.
You have to stand up for yourself. And Ashanti, if you watch this right now, baby, I'm not in your house, okay? And I'm only in the business that you showed us on this camera. Okay, you put it out there, not us. Okay? But I'm going to tell you this right now, honey. I can see it in your face. When you smile and giggle and he says disrespectful stuff. Because you too focused on being non-confrontational. Then you were focused on standing up for what you deserve. I see it. But it was one thing for you to tolerate this emotionally unavailable man-child when it was just you and him. You deserve more back then, but hey, it's easy to tolerate things when it's just you and somebody else, just you and him in the house and ain't no cameras there. But now you got a child, and I want you to remember this. I want Ashanti to remember this. I want all y'all women watching this too. How you allow a man to treat you when you have a child, you're either teaching that child to tolerate the same kind of disrespect that you're tolerating, or you're teaching that child how to become the villain, the disrespecter. The child's going to either become you or going to...
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. I'm not even going to start from the beginning because we all know the story of Nelly and Ashanti from way back when they first got together in the music industry. And we all seen where he asked her for a signature on the red carpet. And the story behind that is, like, he was acting like he was so amazed by her, and she kind of knew it, but she was flattered by it. So she ended up signing her signature anyway. They said that they had separated because he was young, she was young at the time. They were both just trying to find their paths. They were both new and fresh in the music industry. Ashanti is from New York. Nelly is from St. Louis. So you have two different worlds coming together. He also expressed how he really didn't want to live in New York, but he was willing to let her raise their son in New York since she has a more of a support system in New York. The video at the beginning where they're sitting down at the table, he's basically telling her, like, I told you in the beginning how I felt. I told you in the beginning what it was, what my expectations was, like what I'm going to be doing and what I'm not going to be doing, what you're going to be doing, and so forth. She may have thought that he was just like talking because they're getting together, like, oh, it's the beginning of the relationship and, you know, we just now talking on this idea. So she got a whole different Nelly. You know that Nelly back in the day was a little bit younger. Of course, then he had kids. He wasn't really, the mothers were raising them. So he was on the road traveling, doing his music. He didn't really have to worry so much about that dynamic. So she got the fun Nelly, the young Nelly, the cool Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Now that they are older and things are a little bit different, you got to think that his kids are older. They're adults pretty much. I'm sure that financially he may have to contribute, but as far as the day-to-day, that primarily those responsibilities will fall to the mothers of those children. Then you have Ashanti on the other hand. She's young, she's doing her music, she doesn't have children at this point, so she's able to go out, move freely, go on tours, go on concerts, do whatever she needs to do, handle her business and work without worrying, where's my child going to be tonight while I'm working, or are they going to be good, things like that. Now you move from her having that complete freedom and just being able to move to, okay, now I have a husband, okay, now I have a child. And Nelly is pretty much saying that he's going to work when he have to work, when the kid is old enough to pretty much talk and do things for itself, is when he'll step in and spend time with the kid or teach them and be more active at that point. But up until then, before then, she pretty much is on her own with all of the responsibility as far as potty training, as far as waking up in the middle of the night, as far as just all of these different things. You have to remember that he did say that, okay, I had this conversation with you. Now that we're on the other side of it. So what happened was he had this conversation with her ahead of time. They probably, you know, pillow talk in a moment. He's like, you know, I ain't gonna be doing this, I ain't gonna be doing that. And she's like, oh my, you know, we fresh in our relationship and I know he gonna be a good daddy. Or even if he wasn't a good daddy to the other girls, his kids and stuff like that, he gonna be a good daddy to mine. Okay. So just having that mindset really is sad, it's not funny, but that's probably was her way of thinking. And if a man has shown you a pattern of doing something, or a person in general, they're pretty much going to continue on that same pattern. So when they got together, he done already gave her the forewarning, and now things are starting to transpire and really unfold in real time in reality. And she may still want to do her music or have projects that she wants to do, because Ashanti was very big back in the day. Like, that girl, if y'all don't know her, she was doing her music with Murder Inc. She also showed up in some movies, the basketball movie. Y'all know the one I'm talking about, Coach Carter. So Ashanti was definitely like that girl, and still is. You know, she's beautiful, but she's going to get to the point where she's
going to want to jump back into projects, going to want to start doing things. And I wonder how that dynamics is going to play out, because Nelly's pretty much like, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to be on the road. If I got to go, I got to go. And I'm going to holler at you. You done already said, like, we're going to get some nannies. Woo. So with Ashanti being a first-time mom, and she's married, like, that shock that she's pretty much going to have to do a lot of this by herself is going to be like heartbreaking. Is going to hit her, and she's going to realize, okay, this is different than what I had thought it to be, or this is different than what I had imagined. So she's going to have to deal with that reality and decides whether she wants to accept it or not. Does she want to accept being the married single mom, or does she still want to advance in her career, do other things? Like she said, she thought she wanted to be back in New York because she has more of a support system. And a lot of women have to do that. We have to be where our support systems are, because women really step in to help women. We appreciate the things that the men do, but as far as when it comes to the kids, is women, we, you know, in there helping each other, figuring out ways to support each other, build each other up. Okay, when you need to be here, don't worry, I got the babies. That type of bond. She's gonna need that. Nelly's pretty much telling her, I'm gonna step in when I'm ready. So now she gives herself some downtime. She's ready to get back to the music. She's like, okay, I'm expecting him to step in. I know he said, you know, when we first started dating that I'm pretty much not going to do anything, but he loves me. So he's going to step in. He's going to do the right thing at some point. He is going to pretty much do what he want to do. And when Ashanti starts to see that, like she already said, she don't really play like that. When she feel like the line has been crossed or a boundary has been crossed, she's going to pretty much tell him how she feels. When it gets to that point, then you're gonna start seeing the break in the fairy tale, little stories here. Ashanti wasn't spotted with Nelly, and Nelly wasn't, you know, or Nelly was over here doing this and doing that. We gotta remember, this is still Nelly. We talking about Tip Drill, BET after 12 p.m. Like, y'all remember these days, like, don't play. I wasn't the only one up watching Tip Drill on BET back in the day, okay? Everybody pretty much summed it all up. I'm not going to be long-winded on the subject. I will follow up if there's something else to follow up on. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys, but I really appreciate the macro growth and the small growth. I can't thank you guys enough. Until next time, peace.